So now check this, when you're a 20-year-old individual and you're in a trap den and you're looking outside of the window on a Sunday morning, being ready to see if police are gonna raid the house. And if they are, you gotta jump out of the window, paranoid, weed in your system. When you're that stage and you're looking out of that window, all you see is nothing. And that was me. I felt everything that I put on myself up till that stage has brought me to a place of feeling lost. My name is Luke, I'm 23 years old. I was a gangster, drug dealer. My life was all about making money. The root of all my challenges at school was birthed from my anger. So my anger led me to get kicked out of my first school, and then was eventually managed moved to like just a bad school. There was a lot of gang activity connected to the school and my brothers were involved in it. So I joined them and everything was already mapped out for me. I gotta walk the part, I gotta do what everyone expects me to. So at 15, I started selling cannabis weed. That led to me start dealing MD and ecstasy pills at spot raves at 16. I was 17 when I first got caught for selling drugs. I was arrested and I ran away from home. I went county lines for the first time. We called it OT, which stands for out there. You know, you go far away from home. I stayed there for 3 weeks, and then that's when I was introduced to crack cocaine and heroin. Yeah, so violence was a natural thing. You know, I remember going out so many times to the enemy's territory to attack. I myself had been stabbed 5 times on 3 different occasions. The second time I got stabbed was the worst. It was very traumatic, you know, stabbed 3 times, once in my arm and twice in my back. And I nearly died, man. And that stimulated the desire to never be in that situation again, to the stage that now I'm gonna be the one hurting people. And from that day at 17, I never stopped rolling with a knife again. My first year of university was like a lifeline, man. It's like everything prior to that I got away with, you know, the highs and the lows. I got to come into a space where I could use my academic skills while still doing everything else that I criminally was associated to. So throughout that first year, the money was ridiculous, you know. I'm popular, we're partying, you know, there's girls. There's no need to even be violent now. I remember finishing that first year with so much money and with so much hunger to make more. Around that time was when I adopted the county lines phone, which was an investment into crack cocaine and heroin. So we were putting a lot of money in those startup costs and we were getting workers to serve while I was at uni. And it was taking a lot of hits, you know. The house got kicked down by police, workers were being robbed. It was ridiculous. I remember getting phone calls all the time whilst I'm at uni. So my response to it was, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna go hands-on. Being hands-on is such a profitable move. It's a dangerous move, but it's profitable because you don't have the worker there no more. You're there yourself. You don't need to pay the worker. You don't need to worry about losing drugs. Like, everything's coming directly to you. But I knew the risk that I was about to take because I had so much to lose. And boy, did I lose so much. Not even in terms of financially, but just in terms of my peace, man. I was driving up and down to and from county lines, but every time I made that journey, something horrible just happened. I got into car crashes and I was driving without insurance, so I got into court battles with the car. I was jumping out of windows in the drug den. I was getting into fights with drug addicts. I was being chased by police. It was crazy because I was just tired. I just felt the money wasn't worth it. So in my last year in uni, my friend Christopher just got sentenced for a very long time. And what you need to know about Christopher is that he's already spent a lot of his time incarcerated. He was free for almost a year, and then after a firearm case, he was sentenced back to prison. It was so frustrating to find out that he was incarcerated again. It was almost like you took something from us. And that was followed by a few months later when Hakeem, another close friend of mine, was murdered, shot in his head. And I think those two significant losses just forced me into a wall where I had to find peace with what my life was, and I couldn't find that peace, and that threw me in a state of depression, anxiety. I asked this fundamental question: what is life? And I did not have an answer. The money, the cars, the respect, the fame, the popularity, the music, none of that could tell me what my life was. I remember telling my girlfriend, I don't know what it is, but something's got to change. A friend of mine who also knew Hakeem, he was my flatmate at uni. I don't know if he did it out of concern, but I remember one day he knocked on my door and he was just like, "What's that church saying down the road that you've gone one time in first year?" He's like, "I want to try it out. So, you want to come?" Yeah, we went. And I just remember there was beauty in the worship music, the good people, just a warm place of love. And that nostalgic feeling was amazing, so I kept coming back every Sunday. I didn't change my lifestyle per se. I was still doing the same things, still seeing women, still dealing drugs, still doing everything I was doing, but I kept going back. The fourth Sunday that I went to church, that's when everything changed. So there was a guest speaker that came that day, and when he spoke, it just felt like those words were for me. He started talking about, you people that come church on a Sunday just for that nostalgic feeling, but then you leave and then you go on to do everything else you want to do, in your week. God is calling you to 100% relationship. If you ain't doing it 100%, it's nothing. And the next thing I found myself, I was on my knees, man, at the altar, just crying out to God, saying, "Look, I want to have this relationship, but I know it's hard because everything in front of me is pulling me away from you." In that moment, I just felt the Lord saying that, let everything else go, and if I want this relationship, then everything else I'm doing no longer exists. You gotta let that thing go. That moment on my knees when I actually desired for God to move in my life, and accept Jesus, I had to follow what I heard, had to follow what I felt, which was to let go of that lifestyle, man. And I did, man. I had to go home, remember being in a bin bag and just clearing out everything and anything I saw that correlated to that lifestyle, the Rizzlers, the tobacco, the weed, the drugs, the coke I was selling, the condoms, everything. I just cleared it out. I had a little spring clean. I knew what I had to do because I just kept getting reminded of this hole that I finally was filling with him. And it was a different kind of peace, man. I had my joy back. It was nuts. And I was thriving off it. It was my new drug. I was zealous, man. I was just happy to just be found and forgiven, man. Purpose is everything. You know, I'm a light in this world. I'm meant to shine, man. Through my voice, through my personality, my desires to just use it to make a positive change to this world. Bruv, Jesus is so good, man. Like, I am who I am because of him.